Hey, dance teachers, dancers, and lovers of all things dance. Miss Shauna here today to touch on a bit of a sensitive topic, and that is diet and dancers. So let's chat. Okay, welcome. This can be a bit of a touchy topic sometimes. So we're going to dive in today with grace. We're going to dive in today with grace. We're going to let the stereotypes and the assumptions, we're going to just put those away and we're just going to talk um, about things that are important for dancers and their diet. And I'm bringing this up because we are near holiday season and it's always like it literally hurts my soul, it hurts my heart, it hurts every part of me when I hear a young dancer. And they never say it directly to me, like, I always overhear it, right? It's never directly to me. But I hear them talking and they're like, oh, I can't eat the Christmas dessert, or I have to like be careful with all of the holiday treats. And I feel like we need to put that away. I think we need to put that away because I think that the thing that will ruin a career more than eating an extra piece of pie at Christmas is the idea that you have bad food that you can't eat because you're a dancer. So before we dive in, I do want to just preface this with I am not your dietitian. I am not your doctor. These are just things that I have learned along the way, having worked with my own personal amazing dietitians and, life in the industry, speaking with my own medical professionals and and I wanted to share that because I think it's super important that we as dance leaders, as the adults in the room, when we're surrounded often by a lot of young kids, if we're dance teachers in a studio, we have the ability to take this topic and make it less sensitive and open the door to a really healthy approach to nourishing your body if you're a dancer. So quick story about me. When I say that I've worked with my own dietitians and my own medical professionals, I have high cholesterol and high blood pressure. I found out I had high cholesterol at like the peak of my performance career. I was in like probably the best shape of my life. And that's when I found out I had it. I don't want to be medicated for it. I want to do everything I can to remain healthy on my own, by, proper diet, proper exercise, all of those things. Long story short, a few years back, I got into this place where I just was struggling with figuring out how to nourish my body because I didn't want to eat X or Y or Z because it was high in cholesterol. And I didn't want to do this or this or this. And it was like, how do I get enough calories in a day without eating the things that are bad for and it really messed with my head. So I was really lucky. My doctor is fabulous and set me up with an amazing dietitian who helped me to see fueling my body differently. And I've always cared about this topic for my dancers, but after my own personal experience and learning how to shift my mindset around food, I really think it's so valuable for everybody to learn how to properly nourish their body and learn that every body is a bit different. So my body's needs might be different than someone else's body, right? And so things like caloric burn, caloric intake. What do we get enough salt? Do we get enough sugar? All of those things, your body metabolizes a little bit differently. So, I mean, we're going to blanket statement that, you have to nourish your body, but also if you have questions, about how to do this properly for yourself, if you're a dance parent and you're watching this and you're like, I don't really necessarily know what my dancer needs, please do consult the professionals so that they can do a full, I don't want to say a full analysis of your child, but like get a complete picture of your dancers' intake output, what they're maybe where they're struggling, where their energy levels are, what their goals are, so that you can make sure that you're nourishing and fueling the body properly, right? So that's my story. And I just thought it was important for me to preface that so that it's not just me coming and going like, eat cookies, it's fine, but understanding that there was a phase in my life where I was convinced, and I mean, I say this kind of lightly now, but it was heavy in the moment. I was convinced that everything I put in my body was going to make me have a heart attack, which was not rational. But that's where it had got into in my world, right? And it's no different than when I hear a young dancer saying, "Oh, I shouldn't have a pie. Like I shouldn't have a piece of pie at Christmas dinner because then at competition season And then you can just fill in the different things. I mean, use your imagination, the things I hear to end that sentence, right? Also not rational. One piece of pie is not going to ruin your competition season. It's just not. It just doesn't work that way, right? So let's talk about, I don't know, this wasn't in my notes, but maybe I want to know why you think there are stereotypes around dancers and diet, or these expectations around dancers and their diet. And I think it comes from, they are these tiny little pixies in tutus. I don't know. I don't necessarily know why we as a society have decided that dancers can't eat cookies. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean, that's kind of like, again, another blanket statement, but why we have decided as an industry that like dancers have to, eat carrots and not cookies. Um, because I don't think that that's necessarily accurate. I don't know why we have labeled foods as bad, right? I don't know why we've decided that if a dancer is hungry at a dance convention and the closest restaurant nearby that a parent can go grab food is McDonald's, so they decide to grab chicken nuggets. I don't know why we've decided that nuggets are bad when nuggets are made of chicken and there's protein and that's important for a dancer, right? Would you rather the dancer eat nothing or eat the chicken nuggets? Like, obviously the nuggets, go for the nuggets, right? Um, so, I mean, there's all of these assumptions, right? Dancers can't have carbs. Oh, you can't eat pizza. You can't because there's grease and there's carbs, and definitely not the dessert. And oh, for heaven's sake, like for real, this is what we're teaching. We need to change that. We need to change that. So, first of all, I think it's really important. And this is actually, this wasn't a dietitian that I personally work with, but it is a friend of mine that I got to dance with in my career. And she came in a few years back and worked with my dancers. And I loved it. She was fabulous. She educated them so well on how to fuel their bodies, especially on performance day, but all year round. And the first thing she let them know, and I was so grateful when she said it, was that cookies aren't bad. And they all kind of were like, what? And she's like, there's no such thing as a bad food. Food is important. Food nourishes your body. Food gives you fuel. And that set the tone right away. And it kind of caught my dancers' attention where they're like, wait, what? So like milkshakes aren't bad? And it's like, no, they're not bad. They're just maybe a bad time to consume them for peak performance. And she was able to educate them on that there is good food choices that can be made for peak performance. So maybe if you're getting ready to go on stage and you're about to do a light and airy ballet dance, maybe not a Big Mac, because all of the things that live in the Big Mac are heavy, right? Not weighty heavy. Like, they will feel heavy in your body. They're going to sit heavy in your stomach. It will weigh you down, right? So if you're trying to be light and airy, but your body's trying to digest and metabolize like this grease and like everything that's going to make you feel low to the ground, in terms of just like everything goes like this, right? Well, it's going to be hard to be light and airy. Save the Big Mac for later, right? Eat the Big Mac as the reward after the performance. Be like, yeah, let's go eat that Big Mac. I'm starving, right? And instead maybe have like a nice turkey sandwich before going, right? So it's the choices that you make, right? Same thing, like beyond just the idea of dancers have to be tiny and pixie and so we can't eat cookies. We need to also think of things like how we digest food. So I'm lactose intolerant, and I know a lot of people are. So if I'm about to go on stage, maybe, just maybe, I shouldn't have a milkshake. It's not going to feel good in my body, right? We want to make sure that we're putting things in our body before performance that make us feel amazing. But we also want to make sure that the foods that we're eating keep us feeling physically and emotionally well, right? So when I say physically and emotionally well, I mean that yes, you have to eat to fuel your body. So that's, fueling your body for training, fueling your body for injury prevention or recovery, fueling your body for peak performance, keeping everything just in that like pristine condition, right? Has anybody ever been hangry? Like, I think that that's a hilarious word. And even like my 4-year-old nephew knows it. But when you're hungry and you get like salty in the world, you just get angry and grouchy. And then you even just take your first bite of food and you're like, oh, that's better. Right. So our body starts to malfunction and our brain starts to malfunction when we get hungry, and we get things like, think of being hungry and you're like, you feel like your brain's not working properly. You can't focus, right? Or you're hungry and everything feels like it moves in slow motion, right? You're trying to do your dance, but your arms are heavy, your legs are heavy, you just can't do it, right? And that's like even off the stage, like as an adult human, when I'm hungry and I'm like, but I have to clean the house and I have to, it's holiday season, I have to decorate, I have to do all of these things, but I'm hungry and everything seems 20 times more difficult physically and emotionally. And then I eat something and I'm like, okay, let's go. I'm ready, right? We need to eat to fuel ourselves physically and emotionally, but we also need to eat for our mental wellness, right? We need to be able to enjoy the food that we consume. And that's why, full circle, when my friend had come in and worked with my dancers, she said there are not bad foods. We can't label foods as bad. There is just food and good or bad choices, right? Making the choice to eat 17 cookies, it's a bad choice because you're going to get a tummy ache. Like, and it's all of those things. It's not that it's a bad food and it's going to do bad things to you, like long term, unless you're eating obviously 17 cookies every day. Like, probably not going to feel great, but like you're going to have a tummy ache and you're going to be like, I didn't need 70 cookies. I needed one, right? So eat one cookie and feel fabulous about it, right? You need to be able to enjoy the holidays and the celebration that comes around food. Food is like historically known to bring people together, right? You share a meal with people. So food has so much value in our lives. And that's why we have to make sure, like as educators, especially at this time of year, we're not labeling any of that food as bad. I actually had a question of the day, because we know I like to do question of the day with my dancers the other day. And it was, what do you most like on the table at Christmas dinner? Right? So, I mean, if anybody's family is like mine, we put enough food for everybody who's there, and everybody could probably bring 6 people, and there's still enough food, right? Like, we're a big Ukrainian family, we eat lots of food, and there's lots of options, right? We probably have like, I don't know. I remember one year making the list with my mom, and she's like, "Is that enough?" I was like, "It's like we have 5 different meats to choose from. Like, are you serious? Is that enough?" Like, it was so much. It was amazing, but um, they we come together, we eat. So I asked this question to my students: what is your favorite thing on the table? And I was very conscious in asking this question, because I was like, no, there's not going to be oh, really? Did you earn that? Like, that's my least favorite. Like, you have to earn food. No. Food is a basic human necessity. You need to eat, right? You don't earn food, right? You get food to nourish your body and to perform well and to strengthen yourself. And so I went around the room and I kind of just said, like, do you guys, who eats it? Who does like the home cooked eating at home? Who goes out for a Christmas dinner? There was people who did a mix. So some stuff gets ordered in and then some stuff gets made. And I mean, the things that were tossed out for favorite things on the table. I mean, it was so beautiful because there was like ethnic or cultural cooking. There was fried chicken that was ordered in. Like, there's all this stuff. And I made sure that every dancer was acknowledged with the fact that that was a great food choice. Because the worst thing I think in my mind is if I had went, fried chicken, eh? Yeah, that's greasy. I've now put a negative tone on that. And now this young, impressionable dancer is going away to Christmas dinner going, oh, maybe I shouldn't have the fried chicken because my dance teacher frowned upon it. However, with the caveat of that, if she said, hey, I'm going to go eat a bucket of fried chicken right before my ballet solo, I'm going to be like, can we save that till after? Just because it's going to like feel weird in your bod, right? But being able to have those conversations openly is like really valuable, and making sure that they know that is a delicious food, just not to eat right before you go on stage, but eat it. Eat the darn food, right? Eat it. So there's some misconceptions, I think, around the dancer diet. And that, I think I already kind of said that a bit at the beginning. No carbs, no grease, no dessert. So like, no fun. Food can't be fun. And like, I mean, at the end of the day, as human beings, food is food is fuel. Food has a job to do for us, but it should be enjoyable, right? It should be something that when you put your first bite in to your mouth, you go, that tastes so good, right? The other night I had creme brulee cheesecake with my friend, and I was like, this is heaven, right? And I gave myself a minute to go like, this is so delicious. And I'm so grateful that I just like savored it, right? So, I mean, it should be fun. And of course, there's that. I mentioned it before. Dancers can't eat certain foods because they need to be skinny, and I think we just need to full stop that, because there are so many different types of dancer bodies that can do amazing, amazing things. So full stop on, like, you can't eat something because it's bad and it will not make you not skinny. Like, stop. My, like, I'm trying not to be mean because it's Christmas. I got my holiday shirt on, but like, really, if that's the message we're giving, we need to think of the long-term impact on the youth that we're working with. And this maybe is a bit heavy. Maybe it's not even just a sensitive topic. Maybe this is heavy, but it bothers me as an educator, as a dance choreographer, as a dancer, that we have decided that dancers, like, literally can't eat a piece of pizza. Like, eat the pizza. And if I'm wrong, if you want to debate me on this, that's fine. That's fine. But I think long term thinking, we need to, as educators, as dance parents, as peers of each other, if you're a dancer, we need to know that the long term impact of deciding that a food is bad and we can't eat it because we're a dancer, eventually we're not going to be on stage anymore. And the mindset around food is going to have way larger long-term negative impacts on our lives than eating a piece of pizza. For real. For real. The long-term impacts of saying, no, I can't eat that, that food is bad, will go way into adulthood. Um, and all we needed to do was learn to enjoy the piece of pizza and see how we can integrate good food into our lives as dancers. So, dancers, I, like, literally have here with a big exclamation mark, eat the cookies. Okay. Eat a cookie. Christmas cookie season is alive and well. Eat the cookies. You, as a dancer, and dance teachers recognize this and acknowledge this, you will dance the best and look your best on stage when you are healthy. Being healthy means that you are nourished, mind and body. It means that you are eating the right food to give you the vitamins and minerals, keep you healthy, reducing illness, reducing injury, and increasing your vibrancy and focus. And that really all comes with food, right? All food will be so valuable in all of those things. So eat the cookies, eat the pizza, eat the extra bit of gravy on your turkey, enjoy it, and know that one Christmas dinner, gosh, even if you're like me and you have like 2 or 3 Christmas dinners, they are not going to ruin your competitive season that starts, in March. What, like, your Christmas dinner this December is not going to mean you're going to fail in March. Because as a dancer, and dance teachers recognize this, your dancers are fit, they're athletic, they are active, they are working really, really hard to keep that fitness and that health level up in physical, right? In the physical. So, like, the be skinny thing, the be fit thing. Now, if you were going, okay, dancers, we're not going to do any of our training from December until March, which obviously this is, like, never going to happen. We're not going to train at all December to March, and then you're going to go to competition. And I want you to eat a Christmas dinner every single day. Like, that's not good for anybody. We would all, that's like, I think we would all feel so lethargic. We would have that, like, food coma all the time. And I don't think anybody watching this could be like, yeah, I would do that all the time. Like, literally after Christmas is done, like, Christmas dinner, we finish all the Ukrainian food, all the big food. And, like, we get to a day and I'm like, do you want some, like, salmon and a salad? And, like, that's literally what we eat, because I'm like, I can't eat any more of this heavy food. I feel like all we've eaten is pierogies, like, over and over. And it's like, okay, we need to, like, change it up. So, like, we get the point I'm trying to send home. So at holiday time especially, I think we need to remember to eat and enjoy, and be okay with eating, enjoying, and knowing that it's not a bad thing. Christmas cookies, like I said, they will not make or break your competition season. Spinach dip and bread on December 24th will not make your costume not fit in March. It's just, that is not how it works. Eating one serving of spinach dip is not going to make your costume not fit. That's not how the body works. And we need to ensure that our dancers are understanding that and learning that food is a magical tool to what they're doing, that a cookie or spinach dip or pizza or pierogies, Lord, my pierogies, my mom makes the most amazing pierogies. And that is not going to negatively impact your performance. It's not. If anything, it's going to teach you long term as a performer, as an athlete, how to have a really good relationship with fueling your body, with the mindset of food, and ensuring that you are constantly in peak performance condition because you are always taking care of your body and giving it what it needs to thrive, right? So this, I talk about this at Christmas, and I keep going back to like the Christmas cookies and the like Christmas dinner table. But the reality is we should be eating well all year. We should be making sure we're getting fruits and vegetables, that we're getting protein, and that we're getting all of the whole grains and everything that we need, especially with young dancers. We need to have that well-balanced diet. We also need to make sure, as the adults in the room, if we're working with kids, and even impressionable young adults, we need to make sure that we aren't labeling foods as bad. We aren't labeling foods as things you have to earn. Did you earn that piece of pie? Because then it's like, oh, I didn't work hard enough. I can't have pie. No, you can have a pie. Maybe there's behavior, like I know with my, like I say, with my toddler nephew, like, were you behaving? Can you have pie? Okay, fair. But like, did you physically work hard enough? And I mean, we hear that all the time in the gym, right? Oh, I worked so hard in the gym and I finally earned a piece of cake, right? I mean, it is what it is, but we have to make sure that we're not saying that you can only have cake if you work your butt off all the time. But sometimes you need to have cake because you're enjoying the time together and cake is dessert, or because you're feeling like you're in a good place and you want to just enjoy that bite of cake. And that is okay. There are not bad foods. So enjoy the holiday treats, fuel your body for success. And please, 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 as educators, as dance parents in the room, let's make sure that our dancers are learning how to fuel themselves and take care of themselves with food, and not seeing food as a negative or something that will have a negative impact on their performance, but something that will help them advance, something that will keep them well, keep them in peak performance condition, that will ensure that when they get on stage, they are their best self. And if we can do that, I think we can start to change that narrative around, these tiny pixie ballerinas who can't eat a piece of bread into dancers can really lead the way and be, leaders in the performance industry, in sport, in saying like, this is how you eat well, and this is how you have a good relationship with food, and this is why we do it. And we can really, really start to change that narrative and make the future a lot brighter and like a lot healthier for the next generation of dancers coming up. I don't know, food for thought. When I started and I said this can be a sensitive topic, I don't think the sensitivity comes from dancers shouldn't eat cake. I think the sensitivity comes from this idea that dancers have a negative relationship with food. And I think we can change that together as dance leaders, as educators. And like I said, when you're talking with your friends in the dance world, make it okay to break your cookie in half and share it in the change room when you have a break, right? All of those things are totally acceptable, right? Breaking your cookie in half or sharing your french fries or anything like that. So I don't know, feel free. Like I say, you can always share your insight, how you feel about it. But at the end of the day, I think we really just want our dancers to be well and to eat well and to thrive. So they all kind of go together. That's all I got today. I hope you gave yourself some grace to think about maybe even your own relationship with food or how you address food with your dancers. And hopefully, going forward into the holiday season and into the new year, we make sure that our dancers are eating well, nourishing themselves, and knowing that it is absolutely okay to eat a cookie. Thank you so much for watching today. Keep giving yourself grace, and especially through the holiday season. And until next time, keep on dancing, keep on shining, and I will see you